Hello again and welcome to Pearl Magazine. Sports are taking off in Hong Kong with the National Games and the opening of the Kai Tak Sports Park in 2025. Zelichin visited the Outdoor and Sports Expo to learn more about new, trendy and traditional sports. This bicycle is known as a penny farthing. It's a nod to the British sterling coins. The big wheel in front is known as a penny. And a farthing coin is about 1/4 the size of a penny, which refers to the wheel in the back.
The penny farthing was popular in the late 1800s, before the arrival of the modern bicycle. Unlike the modern bicycle, the penny farthing doesn't have brakes nor a chain. April Fong, the owner of a pet food company and a sports enthusiast, fell in love with the penny farthing while watching a TV program last year. After 6 hours of practice, she competed in a penny farthing competition in Australia. The sport is popular in various continents around the world.
Actually, in Europe, US, and Australia, there are some penny farthing clubs. The one that I took part in Australia, actually they have more than 30 years of organizing competition, carnivals related to the penny farthing.
April likes the sport so much that she created an association which launched in Hong Kong this November.
This will be very meaningful for Hong Kong people. First is exercise. We encourage people to do more exercise. And then it's the first bicycle in the world. It's culture. And then the third is I want to encourage more Hong Kong people. When you look at something, you don't say no. You try first. So that is the mindset. I think more Hong Kong people will need to have it.
Her advice for people starting out with the sport?
忘記晒佢，除咗平衡，推行咗先，唔好諗住上車，因為你要掌握個平衡力。Compared to a normal bicycle, with the same distance, we need to spend, or we used to use more energy to ride on a penny farthing than the normal bicycle. Because we have no chain, once you stop pedaling, it stops.
Her association aims to teach newcomers about the sport and grow a community of penny farthing riders.
We need to set up a Hong Kong team, what we call, and then we will be going outside overseas to participate in overseas competitions, gain some experience, and then come back to Hong Kong, organize international competitions.
April hopes that riding a penny farthing will be a sport in the National Games one day. The countdown to the 15th National Games has begun. They will be held in Guangdong Province, Hong Kong, and Macau in November 2025. The city will host 9 sporting competitions, such as fencing.
A lot of people will joining us to see what is fencing. That is good for fencing to promote to be a popular sport.
Cliff Wong is the principal of the Hong Kong Fencing School. He says there are several reasons why athletes from the city are successful in the sport.
Focus, pointing the target, and then go. Hong Kong children is very smart, and they love thinking. And other ways is Asian people, they got a very good body structure. They got a very flexible body structure. Compared with the European fencer, we were better in this area.
Hong Kong fencers won 2 gold medals at the Olympic Games in Paris this past summer. And the school's enrollment increased by 15%.
After they got the gold medal, actually it's fencing fever in Hong Kong. A lot of people, they want to join the sport, right? We got a lot of inquiry how to join the sport.
He opened a 3rd training center over the summer. And he says 20 new fencing schools have opened in the city since the Tokyo Olympic Games held in 2021, when Chern Ka-long won a gold medal in fencing. Chern Ka-long used to be a student at Chris's training center. Chris says Ka-long worked hard to compete at the elite level.
He can concentrate very much in the training, and he spare a lot of effort there. If you want to be Chern Ka-long, right, you need a very good, positive attitude. okay, and also positive thinking to compete.
Cliff says the sports community didn't think that the Olympic medals were attainable 20 years ago.
Because Hong Kong are a very small place, we didn't think we can get a gold medal when I was established my fencing school. Because at that time, even though we go to the Olympic, already very tough target.
Nowadays, athletes aim for Olympic gold medals. And there are many different opportunities for people to start learning fencing.
There is a lot of fencing training center like us, right? If they want it, they just to sign up and join the beginner class, or they also can join their school beginner or interest class in school. Because now in Hong Kong, actually it's about 100 primary and secondary schools already have fencing class.
And the gear is much more affordable lately. Before, fencers used to purchase their equipment from Europe.
We call foil, one saw. It's already 1,000 Hong Kong dollar. In 20 years ago, it's huge money. But now we are using the China-made one because the quality and everything is getting better and better. And then so that's why the price is lower now. So a lot of people, they can enjoy fencing with a lower price. But compared with the saw, now it's only 200 Hong Kong dollar.
Cliff used to be a Hong Kong team coach. His advice for beginner fencers?
First of all, they need to think about how to perform themselves. Don't scare when you're going to the piece. The piece means our fencing platform.
The fencing competition at the National Games will be held at the Kai Tak Sports Park. The venue is expected to open next year.
There were not enough venue for organize international competition. Not only fencing, I think also the other sport. If Kai Tak is opening, we'll provide a lot of different kinds of venue for us to organize the international competition. That means that we will be more easy to promote sport in Hong Kong.
This Frenchman has lived and worked in the city for more than 30 years. He's excited for next year's National Games.
It will be a great event for the country to compete and then to develop new talent for the countries.
This South African rower came to the SAR for a sports competition.
To be honest, I'm impressed with how much to do in Hong Kong, right? So this morning I was middle island, south of the island, and it's just, and it's, first of all, it's like so beautiful, nature and the sea, and you can, I was rowing, but there were people swimming, you can sail, you can paddle, and it's just, a sports paradise in a way.
Rowing and sailing will also be competition events in the National Games. Adrian Pang leads the Royal Hong Kong Yacht Club, which hosts sailing and rowing competitions in the SAR.
What's so special about this boat is this sail, you can see the name Norton. He's actually one of our members who represented Hong Kong during the Tokyo Olympic, and he won the silver medal.
And did she sail by herself?
She's actually, she sailed by herself, like this, like a one-hand boat, yes.
4 members from the club represented Hong Kong at the Paris Olympics.
We keep saying that for anybody who can make it to the Olympics, even though at the end they do not get any medals, it's still quite something because it's not easy. It's very competitive. And, for our kids in Hong Kong, we are very proud of them that they can represent Hong Kong to go to such a big event, international.
The club has a booth at this expo to get visitors interested in water sports. The rowing and sailing classes and competitions are open to the public.
But we feel that for people who come to this event, in fact, they are interested in outdoor event. And it's not a very common that, they can touch and feel a sailboat. So that's why you can see that we brought the sailboat here. So, for the kids, they can actually sit on it, experience it.
Kids can start sailing at 7 years old.
So this is an Optimus. So this is for the kids. It's a single-handed boat. And then when they grow older, they can get on the Fusion. So Fusion is a bigger boat, as you can see. And then when they get even older, then they get on the ILCA, like laser class boat as well. So they are the different boat for cater for different skill sets and also different age as well.
Water sports have had a long history in the SAR.
We can trace back to 1832 when a bunch of rowers come all the way from Canton and come to Hong Kong, right? And then in fact, if you look at our club, we start up in 1840. So, water sport has always been something that, the people's been doing in Hong Kong.
For those who want to get started with rowing and sailing, Adrian advises to learn how to swim and take some training courses offered at the club.
So for sailing and rowing for the beginners, you can literally finish the basic training within 2 weekends. Within 20 to 30 hours, they can get all the certifications for the basic training. So once they get the basic training, then they can hire a boat and they can sail on their own or join other crew to sail on a bigger boat.
With the National Games coming soon, Adrian expects Hong Kongers will be even more interested in health and fitness.
And people are definitely doing a lot more sports now before pandemic. And also, if you look at different sports, hiking and so on, but in Hong Kong, we are so lucky. We can sail, we can row, we can swim 365 days a year pretty much, right?
When we come back, helping dementia patients manage their symptoms better. Stay with us. Welcome back to Parole Magazine. Dementia is a prevalent neurodegenerative disorder among the elderly in Hong Kong. Statistics show that 1 in 3 people aged 85 or above suffers from the disease. Although there is currently no cure for the condition, it doesn't mean that it can't be managed. Tonight, Tina Zhang visits elderly homes and talks to therapists to learn innovative approaches that may help dementia patients better manage their symptoms. For many people, cooking a fried egg is a simple task, but for the senior residents at this elderly home in Sham Shui Po, it's a significant achievement. Today, these senior residents with dementia are dressed as chefs, waiters, and cashiers to run a one-day chaan teng. Mr. Chan is in charge of cooking instant noodles. His wife, Mrs. Chan, is next to him. The nostalgic chaan teng setup is designed to help residents recall their past memories.
Given his current condition, I can no longer take him out. With these activities, he gets to know what a chaan teng is like again.
Mr. Chan was diagnosed with dementia over 10 years ago. His wife recalls that while the symptoms were initially subtle, his condition deteriorated rapidly. He began to forget things and even ran away from home a few times.
Every time he leaves in the middle of the night, I was so worried. Once, when the number 8 typhoon signal was issued, he left and we couldn't find him until 3 days later. Every time he leaves, he only wears underwear and a pair of slippers without taking anything. Coincidentally, the firefighters saw him and thought that this uncle seemed to have some problems. So they asked him about the address and other things, and he remembered.
Mrs. Chan has accepted the fact that there is no cure for dementia, and to slow the progression of the disease is the best that she can hope for.
In fact, I have no expectations, because you know that his memory will only get worse and worse, just like a child. I can only take it one step at a time and just be with him on this journey.
Dementia is one of the most common neurodegenerative disorders among the elderly. According to information from the Department of Health, in Hong Kong, 1 in 3 people aged 85 or above suffers from dementia. It's estimated that by 2036, there will be nearly 300,000 patients with dementia in the city.
Around 50% of our residents are having varying degrees of dementia. I believe this condition is likely to continue and increase in the future.
Rebecca Wong manages a local elderly home, which initiated the chaan teng program for the elderly residents with dementia. She thinks that the residential home is probably the final option for dementia patients, but hopes they can enjoy their last stages of life here using innovative techniques to sharpen their memory.
They transform into experienced chefs, bartenders, waiters, and cashiers, serving fellow residents as customers in a setting reminiscing of a chaan teng. The training delays cognitive deterioration. Through the training, residents learn to complete tasks like making milk tea, sandwiches, and traditional pineapple bun with butter. This process enhances their sequencing memory, working memory, and execution abilities.
The customers at the chaan teng are also residents with dementia, many of whom haven't tasted these dishes in a long time. By participating in these muscle training exercise sessions, residents can earn tokens to spend at the chaan teng for food they like.
你個袋有幾多金幣啊？
有9隻。
9個啊？知唔知點解有咁多金幣啊？
唔知喎。
做運動啊你？
做運動啊？
係啊。咁你努力啲做運動咯喎。
我即刻4點半鐘起身做運動。
Since the program started in January this year, this elderly home has organized 19 sessions, with roughly 260 residents participating in the program.
Residents have progressed from making simple dishes and brew smooth milk tea, preparing meal sets, and baking butter pork. Their cognitive skills, including focus and procedural memory, have significantly improved. For instance, their attention span has increased from an average of 6 to 7 minutes to over 15 minutes.
93-year-old Mrs. Wong takes on the role of preparing lemon tea today.
你之前有冇切過檸檬啊？
有冇切過啊？有冇切過？
咁而家辛苦定係以前開檔辛苦啊？
反正我哋辛苦啦。
Wong previously operated a food stall. Her daughter Mandy Lau says that the chaan teng setting helped her mother remember the old days.
She mentioned that at that time we were selling congee and instant noodles and toasts, which were all available in the food stall next to us. She remembers them all. She offers help. Sometimes she says to the grandma next to her, "Oh, you can't do this? Let me help you." Usually she sits there motionless.
Mandy says that her mother has been looking forward to this event since the night before.
She's so excited. She told her neighbor residents, "Oh, we're going to have fun tomorrow." She got up early and called me. "Have you arrived? Can we go downstairs to play?" She asked like that.
8 years ago, Wong was diagnosed with dementia.
我老公係邊個嚟㗎？老公係志健啦，咪志豪啦。
志健志豪係我個仔啊！
啊，志健就係你個老公，志豪就係你個仔，都未你生嘅啦，個仔係咪？係咪你生嘅？
你亂晒啦你！
Aside from losing some memories, Mandy noticed that her mother's personality has changed a lot.
She gets angry easily. She often curses people excitedly and throws things. I don't know, it turns out that this is the case. She likes to see that others stole her things. She turns around and says that I took her things, but she just doesn't know where they are.
She feels that patience is all she can offer in this situation.
Sometimes she scolds me, and then I just walk away. I'm a human being. I'll be unhappy when this happens, but that's from my mother. She's getting old and she's sick. She doesn't want to be like this.
Betterly's mother has been affected by dementia for 5 years now. He understands the challenges of caring for such a parent.
Tell her what's happening and I come back and ask her again, she won't remember. She likes to talk about unhappy things in the past. Sometimes I tell her to let go of things that have passed. Sometimes she will follow, but suddenly she will bring up again because of emotions.
Over time, he's learned not to take his mother's words too seriously.
Actually, I won't take it to heart after hearing those words. It just goes in one ear and out the other. Because if I take it to heart, it will affect me.
Recently, his mother participated in fitness ball drumming at her elderly center to help alleviate her symptoms. Stephanie Lee is an occupational therapist who has been working with dementia patients here at the elderly home for 2 years. She says fitness ball drumming offers cognitive and physical benefits.
So cognitively, it can enhance their attention, focus, and memories and understandings. Through following the rhythm, the speed of the rhythm, and memorize different steps. Physically, it serves as an aerobic exercise, which can strengthen their upper body muscle, their coordinations, and endurance.
左右，非常好。
The therapist has seen positive changes among the participants since forming a band.
Music is one of their ways to express their emotions, and in a group setting, actually facilitate their social interaction and social connections. I got some feedback from the families that they shared about their loved ones has more responsiveness and verbal expressions. They will share what they learned and new skills that they learned from the activities. Additionally, through the multidisciplinary approach, social workers and frontline staff observed the changes in their behaviors, reducing aggressive behaviors, and also their moods is become more positive.
Better Lee has noticed improvements in his mother's life.
打鼓啊，成咧係對你有幫助㗎，所以你要努力，知唔知？你邊時幫助到我個腦袋㗎？你而家起碼你講嘢好清晰啊，係嘛？
For dementia, as we all know that it is a greatest global challenges for health and social care, and eventually, most part of our brain are damaged by this disease. We have a lot of significant changes in emotions, memories, or even physical functions. A lot of programs may use a passive approach based on the assumption that they think people with dementia cannot do much.
She says that there are many ways to manage the disease, and she hopes for greater public understanding to improve how people cope with the condition.
Don't keep it to yourself. If someone has a cognitive impairment, let them learn something. Don't be shy. If he or she has the disease and then is out and seen by others, and he seems silly and they behave strangely, don't feel scared. You have to face it. That's how he or she is. You can't change this. You may have to accept them.
That's Pearl Magazine for this week. Join us again, same time next week. Bye for now.